So, the average of 5 is a common quote in self-help and personal development circles that's attributed to Jim Rohn, who's an American author and motivational speaker. And it basically says, you are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And that could be a scary thought for some. So why does it matter, and can you change the person you are and the results that you get by changing who makes up your average? Keep watching to find out. Ahoy, Peter here from Brighter Training, and welcome to our video on the average of 5. Now you can use the timestamps in the description below if you need to come back and review a specific section of the video. And of course, if you find these videos helpful, please remember to hit like and subscribe, as it really does help us out and it ensures that you're notified when new videos are made available. While it's normal that people like people that are like them, which is why we join clubs, for example, we tend to hang out with people who share our own values. However, diversity equals exposure to different skills and strategies and ways of thinking. And it's more than just hobbies, it's attitudes and behaviours, values and success in life. So think of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. How motivated are they? How generous or inspiring? Are they open-minded, solution-focused? Or are they negative? Are they victims, judgmental, maybe closed-minded and opinionated? So why is it important? Well, if you apply it consciously, you surround yourself with people that you deem to be successful, and that can be based on any criteria that's important for you. Now, when it comes to success, you need to be intentional and you need to be willing to grow and change and evolve. And to do that, you need to be in an environment that challenges you and where you can really stretch your own boundaries. It's a useful tool to be able to be objective about your own current state as well. You can consider your own limitations, negative habits, or outdated attitudes by looking at the people that you spend time with and considering if their characteristics and mindset is simply a reflection of your own. So where can you see this around you? Look, you'll definitely see it in younger social groups. They share the same motivation, language, and behaviours. Look at any schoolyard and you'll see cliche cliques of academics, theatre kids, popular kids, the sporty groups, the skaters, the gamers, the list goes on. And it makes sense since this group, particularly adolescent through to young adult, are breaking away from the family unit. They're finding their own boundaries and values, and they're doing so with the protection of a new village or a new family unit. However, there is often very little self-awareness within this group, and the habits formed during this time can lock them into a standard of living which is really difficult to break. Now, you'll also see it in business. Organisational psychologists have found that people tend to adopt similar behaviours and leadership characteristics and responses to problems, regardless of their role, when you compare them to people that have the same role but in a different organisation. We learn from those around us, from the things that we habitually do, and in response to a set of social rules that are present in our environment. In essence, the culture of our business is the average of the people that work there. Basically, each individual finds a tribe based on how they were raised, their values, their beliefs, and without a clear plan, vision, or commitment, our own standards and results occur by default, just based on those around us. So there are a whole lot of different personalities out there, and of course we all have different sides depending on the context. However, we do tend to respond differently to different people, and some people leave us feeling a lot more inspired and energized than others. Have you ever attended maybe an inspirational seminar, only to go home and lose all motivation because of the lack of energy or the lack of support? The people around us really influence how we feel and respond, and thus it's so important to be aware of those people that we choose to spend time with. Some different types of people I can think of that influence my energy and state of mind include what I call the victims. Those that are always finding something wrong and always have someone to blame because of their responsibilities in their family, society, government, children, parents, age, health issues. Whatever it is, there's something wrong with it, and it personally affects them in a way that leaves them with zero control. And they're not looking for solutions, and it's draining attempting to help them since they don't really want things to change anyway. Then we have the judges. They have opinions on everything that everyone else does wrong. However, they're never responsible or never commit to improving the system. They generally see themselves as superior or more experienced to everyone else, and yet they don't seem to want to use that to lift other people up. They tend to feel better about themselves by keeping you down. So if you go to them with an idea, expect to hear about all the things that you don't know that they do. I can think of the sleepwalkers or zombies, so those with no particular direction. They wake up, they have their routine, they maybe work, they socialise, they just cruise through life, no real plan. They can be fun sometimes, but again, how useful is it to model yourself on if you want to be a really high achiever? Then we have the dreamers. Think the uni students who sit in the quad and talk about all the ways that they're going to change the world. The idealist, where you can influence the world with positive thinking and solidarity. It can be really energizing and creative. However, what happens when you attempt to then transition that dream into practical reality? And another group may be the entrepreneurs or the executives, so high performers who are primarily focused on process, money, results, prestige. Everything is a plan, a commitment, and a process. These people are action-oriented and solution-focused. There are probably a whole lot of other types that you can think of: the energy vampires, the motivators, the comforters, and each type has probably got pros and cons. But here's a fun question. Which category would your friends put you into? So how do you leave people feeling? So the key here is to think about how you feel when you're around them and what habits you pick up from them the longer you hang out with them. It doesn't matter how smart or good intentioned you are. If you surround yourself with negativity, then you're going to struggle to be action-oriented and inspired. Our environment is a massive influence on our success and our life experience, and the people you spend time with can be way more influential than you realize. They alter your energy, they make you question your goals, they influence your motivation and your activity. The conversations that you have with people play over and over in your mind, and those repeated thoughts dictate your self-esteem. And that works for positive people or negative ones. So what do you want to do? You want to surround yourself with people who are self-driven and self-motivated. People who unconditionally encourage you to succeed and don't view your progress or your success as a threat to them. So people who can expose you to new ways of doing things, who question you and your model of the world so that you can remain flexible and maintain a growth mindset. So if you want to change your average, there are a few things that you can do. First of all, identify the behaviours, the habits, thoughts and actions that you see in your social circle. It could be done purely from a work perspective or life in general. Then, and it does sound harsh, consider removing the toxicity from your environment. People often make excuses, oh, they mean well, or their family, or it's just the way they are, and that's maybe all true. However, it doesn't alter the fact that they have a negative impact on you, or you don't like who you become when you're around them. Sometimes certain habits, substances, and yes, even people are just bad for you, and the best thing to do is just walk away. So next, try attending new places to meet new types of people. Introduce yourself to different people, attend classes, seminars, or activities that have different types of people than you normally hang out with. Basically, you want to meet people who will inspire or encourage and expose you to new ways of thinking. So diversity and inclusion leads to whole new perspectives. Then learn to listen and ask questions. So challenging your own beliefs and habits can help move you toward new and positive experiences. So listen to other people and challenge your instinct to argue or rebut. Just listen and be curious to consider a new way of thinking and question your own thoughts, reactions, and beliefs. And if you can't get away from negative influences, perhaps at work or because of your living arrangements, then expose yourself to new ideas. Online learning, online seminars, read books or watch videos exploring ideas that are new or different for you. Avoid the conversations that demotivate and replace them with resources that really inspire. Of course, this is just a model or an idea, so take it with a grain of salt, and I acknowledge that there is personal choice involved in this and a lot of factors that influence our success. However, we do tend to mimic those around us, and the people in our lives can either lift us up or leave us feeling empty. So reflect on your own goals, think about how you feel, and consider taking steps to surround yourself with people that will have a better influence and then you can model yourself on in order to achieve your own personal goals. So I hope this gave you some food for thought. I'd love to hear the types of people in your life that you find particularly draining or challenging, so let me know in the comment section below. We do plan to do a few videos on ways to change your own direction and mindset, so remember to subscribe so that you can be made aware of when they come out. Otherwise, thanks again for watching and have a fantastic day.